Our Computex 2019 coverage is made possible thanks to Corsair, Patriot, EK, Typtra and Viper Gaming. Hey everyone, I'm Andy Raffel from eTeknix.com and we're here with Phanteks at Computex 2019. Now you may remember at CES we saw this beast. So this is the Enthoo LUXE 2. Now when we saw it at CES it did look a little bit rough and ready. They've basically taken it one step further. They've listened to kind of feedback from the media and other people and just fixed a few little issues. So what you may remember with this chassis is it is absolutely huge. So firstly we have 4mm tempered glass, but the thing that I really like is the fact that you can have one extremely large system in here with kind of full-size boards such as the Asus Dominus, or you can actually put an ATX system or micro ATX system and then have a mini ITX system down the bottom. In terms of fan support, it's absolutely huge, and there are actually a couple of examples over there that we will be showing you in a minute. Obviously there is vertical GPU support. They've been working on sort of some of the mesh for airflow as well, just basically making sure that you are getting full amounts of airflow whilst also sort of, you know, being able to use it as a dust filter as well. As we move around the other side, there's a few other little things that they've done in terms of cable management. So now instead of just having one lot of kind of routing for cables, they actually have split it up into two. So we've got sort of one set here for your smaller cables and one set here for your thicker cables. They've also added this little shroud down here, which basically allows you to kind of tidy things up when it comes to your power supply. Other things that they thought of as well is the placement of the fan controller hub, so that everything again is out the way, everything looks clean, at least on the business side, which is what's going to matter to you. Also on this side you can see that we have something quite different when it comes to SSD mounting, so I guess quite a unique design, and you can actually see that it's ever so slightly angled, so when you put your SSD in there, if you are using a right angle connector, it's not actually going to interfere with sort of, you know, pushing up against the main part of the chassis. So really unique sort of, you know, features that we're seeing on this. And what I actually want to show you over here is some of the systems and exactly how they can look. So as we look over here, this is probably my favorite, purely because what they've done is they've got a single system in here just showing exactly how many fans you can fit in there. So what we have here is a total of 15 fans in there, but it does give you an indication as to kind of what you'd be expecting when it comes to radiator support. So we're talking two lots of 480mm and also a 360 down the top, down the bottom, and a 360 at the top as well. I'm sure you're going to agree with me, this looks extremely clean. All of the cable management and routing holes are in exactly the right places that you'd expect to see it, and it looks really, really nice. And this is in the kind of anthracite grey colour. As we go over here, we have kind of workstation, sort of a workstation-based system. So yes, it's a little bit garish when it comes to the RGB. You're probably not going to expect to see that on a workstation, but it just shows that you can have the dual socket sort of motherboard, like I mentioned over there, and still have everything looking clean and tidy. We've obviously got the Glacier series when it comes to the reservoir and all of the water cooling gear on there as well. And yeah, it just looks absolutely amazing. Then when we move over to here, again, it's just showing off another example of how things can look. So again, all of the Glacier series from Phanteks with the custom loop water cooling and just how everything can look. Now the main kind of key point of this that I really want to highlight on is at the back. So we have this distribution plate, which has, as you can see, CPU, GPU, GPU, and then going back to your pump, back to the radiator, and then there's also the one from the pump at the top. Now what we're actually told with this distro plate is the fact that it can fit into any chassis that has a 140mm fan at the back and 7 PCI Express slots, or 7 expansion slots on the rear of the chassis, I should say. So basically that means that this can be used in any chassis, at least from Phanteks, that will have those particular features. And I will actually show you in a minute. We'll probably put it in as B-roll of the distribution plate itself. So yeah, some really, really cool stuff coming up from Phanteks. They have got a few refresh cases, they have got a few new cases in the Eclipse series as well, and we will get all written content on that. But on video I just wanted to show off kind of the Enthoo LUXE 2, kind of where it was, as you may remember from CES, and now where it is. And they are actually hoping for around maybe an August release, and pricing wise, if you remember rightly, they said that they were going to try and price it under $200. They're still a firm believer that when this does hit the market, it's still going to be about $189, which that's just crazy money. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know exactly what to do, and be sure to check out the rest of our Computex coverage while we're here in Taipei, Taiwan. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.